begin recording, and we are recording on this
I was just going to
21st.
ask,
Yes,
are we
we are
recording?
recording on this 21st of May.
Attaboy.
How are you? You're looking well. You're looking.
Yeah, not bad. I just got out of the shower.
That's fine. That's good.
Yeah.
You
My God, it's
smell
getting thin up there.
Irish Spring is probably what you.
God, remember those hideous
Yeah,
ads? The
yeah.
guy with the terrible Tam O'Shanter
That's right.
accent.
Dear, you make my Irish Spring. But anyway, I'm sorry about that.
Oh, okay. Are
slept.
we recording?
We are, and I slept quite well, thank you. And you know what? I'm figuring out why I have to assign myself a little mundane task that I then take to bed with me because I have
I hope it's
modifications.
not defrosting the
No,
refrigerator.
it could be as mundane as that, but I have to modify Madame's herb garden. You see, I have orders now to do that. And so then I spend time chewing on this and planning and what I have to cut and everything. And then I start taking tools out and I go, quarter-inch saw, and I'm out. And I think only of that, and it gets me to sleep. It's analogous to counting sheep.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought because doctors have told me, sleep specialists have told me that if you get into bed, don't even read.
That's
Get
true.
into bed.
I
Maybe
break that
you're right.
rule all
Maybe
the
if it's
time.
really Monday, what do you do? A little list or
No,
something?
I guess what I'm getting at is if I take COVID to bed or if I take business to bed, then
Yeah.
it's not good. Or any other thoughts that you and I may have rattling around in our little craniums here.
Terrible
But if I
idea.
take
Even when
something,
it's stimulate. Well, of course, stimulate.
yeah.
When it's fun ideas, it's not
Oh,
good.
no. But if I take something completely mundane, and what I did most of last winter, every night, is I would explain to somebody how a water heater works, and this is what would put me to sleep every night. It sounds strange, doesn't it?
Well, whatever puts you to sleep. This is actually doing it well for me. It's
Yeah, it
working
is.
on me
It's
right
working
now.
on you right now,
I'm
is it?
starting to fade. Yeah.
Okay. Let me just. I got a bit of a rantlet here this morning.
This out at
Um,
64.
about 10 minutes ago, Canada Post came by my house and
Yes.
delivered a couple of parcels. I know this is not unusual for you, but we don't get home delivery here for mail or parcel.
Oh, that's right. You have to go to a super box.
We have
don't
to
you?
go
Or
down
a
to the
post
super
office?
box or go to a local pharmacy. But again, given the situation these days, they're having to move that volume. And the lovely Canada Post person came by and dropped off. So thank you very much. And that leads me into kudos for Canada Post because they are kicking ass here. They are working very, very hard. Yes, there have been delays, but I want to congratulate them, not management as much as the union, because the union's been coming forth of late and explaining exactly, or to the best of their ability, why things are slow. And they are just jammed. So kudos to them because they're doing a very good job, and a bit of a thumbs down to management because they're not really coming forward to explain more as to why things are very slow. So Purelator, on the other hand, is doing a very good job. They've been by here a few times in recent weeks. Again,
They're owned by Canada Post, aren't
they
they?
are owned by the Crown Corporation.
Yeah.
Again, different management, a different set of logistics and different volumes and that. And years ago, perhaps a decade ago, man, I had trouble with this company. But they have cleaned up their act and they're working very, very hard. So a thumbs up to them too. Canpar came by a while back. Again, smaller companies, smaller volumes, but they're managing to keep people updated as well. You can see a COVID-19 update there, more fairly recent. FedEx too, a recent update a couple of days ago. They're doing quite well. Again, they have very, very high volumes, but they seem to be ahead of Big Brown. Dicom, just a quick mention of them too, smaller company, but doing very well. But Big Brown, man, is having a tough time. The largest player in the business.
Bigger than FedEx?
Oh, they are the biggest company of its kind on the planet. And I'm concerned for them, quote unquote, because their brand is suffering now. They're paradoxically, their volumes are way up, but their profits are down because the money is made on commercial clients. So And the smaller service centers up in this area and in the greater area of Montreal are choked. They simply cannot get stuff out. So you're looking at 2 to 3 weeks in some cases for delivery.
2 to 3 weeks?
Yeah.
My goodness, that is, because I've ordered stuff and it's been there in 36 hours.
Yeah.
Not by UPS, but by others.
Yes, by others. And again, I'm not ragging on UPS. They're having a tough time. But the problem is that they're not really explaining what's going on. And this applies to pretty well everybody I've mentioned here too. Show me what's going on. Give me some statistics and some photographs. The union at Canada Post did a pretty good job of that a couple of weeks ago, but this should be coming from management. And you have to protect your brand. You have to protect your employees. And I've been reading reviews of UPS of late, and they're in the shitter. They're dumping on drivers. They're dumping on the people who are answering the phone. It's not their fault.
Well, of course, if they don't tell you, it leads you to come to your own conclusions as well, too, doesn't it?
Yeah. So protect your brand, protect your people, and come forward and say, look, this is what's going on. And my goodness, you have communications departments in these companies. Pick up the phone or contact a reporter and get a story out there. You know how the game works, and let us know what's going on. The most recent piece out of UPS was the fact that their profits are down. So this is
sounds as if they're overwhelmed.
They are, and it's an extraordinary time, so it requires extraordinary measures. So get your ass out there and show me. On va pas le savoir, Chris, on veut le voir, as Yvon Deschamps used to say. And just to finish up on this, Facebook is now in the online shopping business as of this week. They partnered with Shopify, the company from Ottawa that we talked about with Mitch Joel a couple of weeks ago. Yep. Talk about big. And this is, I picked up on this story out of a website in Vancouver. And of course, as you scroll down, there's a nice little ad for Ottawa that shows up just above a video of Mark Zuckerberg, who's talking about his latest. And of course, his share price has never been this high, at $231.75 a crack US.
What are they calling it? The partnership between Shopify and Facebook? They have a name?
Yes, they're calling it Facebook Shops. Strangely enough.
Okay. Because is this an ad here at the top? Venture?
Venture is the website where I found the piece.
I see. Okay. Yeah, I thought that's what they were calling it.
No, this is in the news. So they call it Facebook Shops. And if you think there's a lot of crap in the pipeline now, you just wait. So
don't tell UPS.
Yeah, so that's my little rantlet for this morning. So again,
actually,
please.
Speaking of UPS,
please be calm.
You think they'd be able to?
I know you're waiting for your Etsy knitting kit from Hamilton, Ontario, but damn it, just relax a little bit, would you? I'm sorry, David. Continue.
Oh well, there's an idea for you to take to bed: a knitting kit.
Yes.
And you wake up the next morning and you performed an appendectomy, right?
Yeah.
You thought you were dreaming of digging a ditch, but you wake up and there are 2 number 9 knitting
in the neighbor.
In your bowels.
That's right. Yeah. Right.
I can't get up. You know that lovely sound when it finally happens again each year? It's that little bit of white noise out the window of some guy pushing his lawnmower.
Yes.
I hate that now.
Really?
I hate the sound. It started yesterday, or maybe even a couple of days ago.
You mean a running mower, or before he even starts it? You mean?
No, the sound of the lawnmower at work.
Of the gas-powered mower.
Any of them.
Any of them.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, I've got an electric one. I'm a one of these save the planet nitwits, and we share it with the neighbor. Is that lightning?
That's right.
I hate the sound of lawnmowers. It grates on my nerves. Leaf blowers, I want capital punishment.
Then you wouldn't like my neighborhood.
Oh
no, guys here clean their cars with leaf blowers. I told you.
My son-in-law I said, get a rake. And he said, no, maybe I'll get a leaf blower.
No, I told you about the guy who was shop vacuuming his lawn about a month ago. I told you this. With that gravel flying everywhere. And cats running around. Oh, you wouldn't like this neighborhood.
It's a neighborhood filled with you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Chainsaws.
Yeah, with a face mask on. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, geez. Has he got one of those pen clips, one of those little leather pen clips they put to their
I
belts?
got to be careful how I describe him, but because and men and women, but men too, past a certain age, shouldn't be wearing gym shorts. You know, after oh yeah, we're talking about that kind of
Oh,
stuff
you're
here.
right.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Anybody who needs ironing should not be wearing gym shorts.
That's right. You're not talking about they're ironing their faces, right?
Yeah,
They
no,
needs
the
a
whole
real
body, the
pressing
whole
job.
thing is yeah. The knees used to be there,
Yeah,
but now they're there.
now they're down around the running shoes. Oh dear. Well, leaf blowers, lawnmowers of all kinds, power saws, chainsaws,
Oh, okay.
all of
Okay.
them,
Oh,
and of
well,
course
then you
then
wouldn't
the
like it here.
nail drivers. Tink,
Okay. Listen,
tink.
Heidi's in the green room. We got to bring her in here.
Yeah, and she's probably got up and left by now
She's probably
because
all upset. Heidi Foss. God, we're fans of hers, and she took a few
here
minutes out,
she is. Good morning.
and
Can you
we
hear
just got to
us?
wait for the audio
Okay, there she is.
to connect.
There you are.
Hi.
Hi,
Good
how are
morning.
you? Sorry to
I'm
keep
well.
you
How are you
waiting.
all doing?
We're good.
We're
We're
doing
good.
fine. You got a beautiful background there, dear. It's lovely.
It's a green screen.
Oh,
Is
okay.
it?
Well,
No.
No.
you had me
no.
fooled.
No.
No, it's not a green screen.
Oh.
Thank
It's
you.
lovely.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Uh,
So, are you writing a lot?
I'm waiting for notes, which is a painful process. And I'm working on a co-production between Canada and Italy, and there's translation involved as well. So it's a painful process when you're waiting for notes.
wow. Can
And
you
is
give
it
us
a series?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a children's series, an animated children's
Oh,
series.
this is the one, the children's series. We did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And you've done
Yes.
some voice work too, have you not? You've done voice work for animated stuff before. Yes?
I played Mary Moo Cow in the series Arthur.
Oh,
Mary Moo Cow.
Mary
Okay.
Moo Cow.
Let me just write that one down.
Did
Okay.
you have any say in the animation?
No, I let the artists deal with the animation.
How are you doing these days? Are you missing stand-up? When's the last time you did a show?
Well, I was thinking about that about 2 months ago. I think the last time I was on stage was early March, and I was booked the following Saturday, and that was the day that they pulled the plug on everything,
Oh,
on society
God.
as we know it.
Okay. Have you been doing any stuff by Zoom or by Skype, or just concentrating
No,
on?
I'm very particular about my stand-up. And that could change, but I'm really particular about the type of venue that if I'm not going to be maintain a certain integrity in terms of the art form, then I just don't want to do it for this,
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I won't do it. I hate doing it outside because there's no intimacy. And but again, that could change. I don't really know how stand-up is going to proceed at this point.
Yeah, we were talking to Terrence Bowman, and he was doing improv by Zoom, and we haven't talked to him since. I don't know how it worked out. It sounds tough without the audience. I mean, they're crucial.
Yeah, I think improv would be a lot easier. I think I saw that it was done. I can't remember who the troupe was, but they were able to get suggestions from other the Zoom audience and continue to play their. I don't know how I don't know exactly how they did it, but I think that would be easier than stand up. I certainly don't know how you would do stand up.
No, I would say, and I'm somebody who is petrified of standing in front of people. And every time I've talked to a comedian, you may have the same answer, you may have a different one, is you need the adrenaline rush, but it's scary out there for me.
Yeah. And I don't know how the Ellen DeGeneres and the Stephen Colbert's, I don't know how they're doing it without that, without the audience sort of lifting them up and inspiring them to move forward,
Well, especially with your style, if you will allow me to say as much, because it's calm. It's I guess deadpan is the word we would apply to it. So you need that fébrilité in the room, right, to keep it going. So
yeah, I just don't know, if stand-up's gonna come back before we find a vaccine. I just don't know how it's gonna work.
Weird feeling, I guess.
God, I hope so.
Yeah.
We could certainly use some laughs.
Well, I think about how they would do it in a closed environment. Would they have to have masks and face shields, and how would people get their drinks? And I just who would they have to get up and go to the bar? Or I heard on the radio yesterday that they're not even allowing that in a restaurant. So there's so many things that we don't think about, but they are saying that there was quite a few people at a choir recital that acquired the virus. So I can't imagine sitting in an audience and laughing would be any less dangerous than sort of singing.
Yeah, and what do you do with the choir? I mean,
yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
So
imagine you mentioned it, looking out at a people with masks on. Great.
Yeah, exactly.
Who've been drinking.
It's hard enough to judge how an audience is feeling about you without them wearing a helmet and a hazmat suit.
Oh God, I'm bombing.
That's right.
And you don't even know if you are or not. Maybe you're
kidding. Yeah, they're all my doctor.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Did you say you're from Bowmanville? Is it Bowmanville?
That's right. It's like doing stand-up in Ontario. Yeah.
Exactly.
So I would hope that your writing is keeping you busy enough to keep the brain active these days, is it?
I'm doing a little bit of writing, like I said, waiting for notes at the moment. Yesterday I cleaned my deck. That's kind of how it's going with.
I understand where that's going to. And
we got what I mean? And
we got material now, aren't you? Yeah.
Well, this weather is spectacular. I mean, how do you stay indoors and right with this kind of weather?
And we got a picture of you in a gym playing. Was it ball hockey? You were playing? Yes.
I think that was Fred. Fred sent that out.
Yes, that's right. I had no idea that you were an athlete. That's
let's not go that far. I suit up and I play hockey with the Just for Laughs gang every Saturday.
Okay.
And we haven't been able to play for since March, and I also kickbox. I joined a kickboxing gym, which I love.
I took a few lessons a few years ago. Yeah.
And it's a really small space. I don't know how they're gonna move forward either.
Does that alleviate frustration? Kickboxing?
It certainly does. Oh yes.
I love it. So what I've done in the meantime is I go jogging every couple of days. So I'm active.
Okay. And the notes are due in when from Italy? Of course, Italy.
They could be coming in right now, or it could be another week and a half. You just never know.
So
how did the stand-up get in your blood? You've been at it for quite a while now, and again,
I started. I was in theater school, and while I was in theater school, I was watching Johnny Carson and loving it. I mean, that's how far back it was that Concordia Theater School. That's how far that was like 30 years ago, or something along those lines. And I just love stand-up. So I took a workshop at Ernie Butler's Comedy Nest, and I was booked about 2 weeks later. And I can still remember the day that I got my first weekend. I mean, that's how exciting it was way back. And that's what I think about with the, I miss it. But when I was young and up and coming, and my whole life, living and breathing on stand-up. All day long you're thinking of jokes, and then at night you're going to the clubs. And so these poor kids who are starting out right now, who are just in the this whole thing has just completely brought it to a halt, the whole industry to a halt. And
do you remember that first feeling before you went on, and do you still get it? That pit of your stomach feeling?
I don't get it as much. I get there's at least a minute before I go on stage that I will have that feeling. But I mean, when you're first starting out, it's months of excitement, and then you're on stage, and then you just want to be on stage again. And I don't have that as much anymore. But I couldn't imagine being a young comic first starting out and then not having a chance to get on stage and try out my jokes. And it was just so exciting when you're first starting out.
I remember a punchline from an early gag of yours years ago. It had something to do with a price check in a dollar store. Yeah. And all these years later, nothing costs $1 in the dollar store anymore. But this is how I look at performers like you. And, Richard Lewis, I got a favorite line. Heidi Foss, I've got a favorite line.
Oh, isn't that
That's stuck
great?
in my brain all these years. So
That's a good line, kiddo.
Isn't
That's a
that
good
great?
line.
yeah, yeah. That's from way back. I remember when you were starting out at Just for Laughs at the very beginning, and because we talked to Andy Nellman here, and we were supposed to have Phil Shushat and David Acker on this week too, maybe next week. But
Yeah,
so
I'm curious to hear what they'd say about the comedy clubs.
yeah, yeah, and
Deader than a doornail. How
yeah.
did you develop that style? I mean, you're in acting school. How do you emote when you really bring it back?
Yeah,
That's
isn't that
your style.
interesting? Because I don't require a lot of acting skills when I'm actually, excuse me, when I'm on stage. In fact, one of the club owners told me I should take acting lessons, and I said I have a degree in and then he told me I needed to join an improv troupe, and I said I founded an improv troupe about 2 years ago. So.
Pretty sharp guy talking to you, huh?
Yeah. Oh boy, but I was surprised when I got the call to work on this kids series that I'm working on now, because I thought that the industry had completely shut down. But I guess because it's animation and people can work in their studios and their separate houses.
And Italy too, of all places, right? So
of all places, I know.
Yeah.
I was thinking
Wow.
that.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's terrific. Okay. Well, thank you very much for giving us of your time this morning.
Oh well, thank you guys.
Good
It was
luck.
lovely.
It's beautiful. It's great to see you, and we're going to look out for the next projects, and I hope to see you back on stage soon.
Okay, me too. Thank you guys for having me so much.
Thanks.
Take
Heidi.
care, Heidi. We'll see you on Facebook.
Okay, great.
Bye.
Thanks
Bye,
again.
Bye.
My goodness. Again, one of our favorite
Sharp.
folks. She is she's on top of her game, always has been, and as she explained out of her own mouth, she's a professional. She gets out there, and things have to be done.
No, I admire that.
I've always known
think
her
part
to
of
be
it,
that
as
way.
you said, integrity, but part of it is the crowd is crucial.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you know what? Kickboxing would be good for you.
I'd forgotten you did that for a
I
while.
did that for a
I-
couple of
you
years
need it.
downtown.
Just before you go to bed.
Yeah. I'm gonna
Something
get
mundane.
that. Just gave me an idea. I'm gonna buy myself one of those big kicking bags, those big boxing bags there.
Why did you stop?
I moved up to the regions up here, and this
And
was,
there's no gym or
oh, there probably there's
kickboxing,
no gym
jujitsu.
operating now, but back in in those days, yeah. And Philippe Delis was my instructor. I don't know if Philippe is out there right now. I should probably contact him. Sharp young guy, and I was I was probably 3 times the age of the average person in these classes, So
Well, you're fearless then.
I was
did
able to
did
keep
anyone
up.
giggle?
There was not a whole lot of giggling. I was working out with these guys who are about half my age, and it's exhausting. But man, when you get home after that, it's you're out.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Maybe I should try it.
I could see you kickboxing.
I don't. Of course, I don't like lifting my legs
That's-
at all.
Yeah,
You know,
I
even-
can see you in a wife beater with a beer, just coming in and doing.
Yeah. Have you got a sofa?
Can I put my beer here?
Yeah. Have you got a sofa and a credenza where I could watch some television?
Okay, I'm getting mic problems at your end here again. So we got
Oh
some more
no.
tinkling
Was it all the way through?
No, it started about halfway through, so I got to start
Oh, damn.
ziggunning with this thing again. Anyway, tomorrow we're probably maybe using Skype tomorrow for technical reasons.
Okay.
Because Dennis Bowden and Chuck Phillips are going to join us to talk about finances and the like. And I have to call Dennis now and walk him through the whole process. So,
All righty.
and
Well,
of course, having
hold
done
his
this with
hand.
you, having done this with you for 25 years. I
Well, is he
know.
nervous we're going to ask embarrassing questions?
No. It's just a matter of facing the right way and making the call.
Oh,
And-
right.
yes,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Of course, people aren't as au courant as I am in this.
No, that's true.
That's me. All right.
Okay.
If somebody doesn't move much, I move a lot.
We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Take it easy.